A good Wednesday morning, Roger Hill, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. No utility impacts are expected for this outlook period, ending Monday. Several days of high pressure to influence an exceptional stretch of good project weather, and for taking time off, doing maintenance, and the like. The air mass associated with the sprawling blocking high pressure system located over Canada currently will age and warm slightly, so warming trends are expected. Though gradually we'll see foggy mornings, mainly sunny afternoons, but some variable amounts of high clouds about it. The only exception to that would be maybe perhaps in parts of Windham County where there could be just a little bit of light rain shower activity. That weakness looks to be probably mostly on Saturday, but there's a possibility of that late in the day on Friday as well. But this would be hanging right around the Massachusetts line and down toward the Brattleboro area. With this big area of higher pressure, let's take a look at the computer modeling. This is our stronger area of higher pressure located over Quebec. You can see this is the GFS and deterministic model, the European deterministic model, and they're both in very good agreement. So as we run the computer model, this area of higher pressure shifts a little bit more to the south and east by the time we hit Thursday night into Friday. And it opens the door for this weak weather system, and we'll go back. This is a system that's in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's going to drift ever so slowly toward the mid-Atlantic and then across south of Long Island. And that's what's going to spin up this area of low pressure right here and force a little bit more rain, it looks like, in the southern parts of New England along the I-95 corridor, generally southwest of Portland, Maine. And this kind of makes a creep into the far southeastern portions of Vermont. The GFS is handling it just a little bit differently, but then that system pulls away. Another area of higher pressure builds into the region and reinforces, and it looks like we're in for just an incredible stretch. This goes into Monday. That ends the outlook period. And then basically beyond the outlook period, we're also looking at no precipitation, as you can see here. Maybe a little bit of a warm frontal genesis here with this thing, but probably not. Looks like that's going to shift to the north, and the whole time we're going to warm things up, and we're going to see temperatures in that sort of 75 to 80 degree mode by the time we hit Wednesday, and possibly going beyond that period. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on the grid point of Montpelier, you can see just a couple hints of precipitation, but this is pretty much limited, and that's the total 3-hourly QPF. The total QPF in this entire period under 500th of an inch going out to its maximum. Precipitable water, you can kind of see the story here. We remain below 1 inch until we get pretty much late in the period. Really no worries there. Looking at convective available potential energy, when this air mass heats up, we add a little bit more moisture, a little bit more heating eventually around the corner, but for the most part, we're not looking at anything major here. Checking shear over Cape, we're under 30 knots, so nothing severe. If we were to get some thunderstorm activity at the end of this sprawling area of higher pressure's depth. And then quickly here, we're looking at 850 millibar winds, and things are looking pretty light. For the Weather Prediction Center of NOAA National Weather Service, this is the forecast accumulated rainfall for the next 7 days. This is 1/100th of an inch. This is 100th of an inch. Matches well with what the European, the GFS, the Canadian model all showing. Dry as a bone through this entire period. 2-meter temperatures, anomalies, just a little bit below normal leftovers along the eastern seaboard with cooler than normal conditions. That's going to warm up gradually. We're going to see a lot of warmth work in. Next 5 days of high temperatures will be between 9 and 12 degrees above normal. This is valid over the next 5 days of high temperatures only. And then checking 3 days later, we're still in that sort of 9 to 12 degrees above normal anomaly, even a little bit warmer than that. So if anything, it's going to warm up, and we're looking at a little bit of late summer weather returning for this autumn. Looking at the tropics, we're under the P names now. We have Tropical Storm Philippe, and we have another system here that has about a 90% chance to become a cyclone over the course of the next couple of days. Looking at the European 51-member ensemble for tropical weather, here's the 2 areas of low pressure. This is Philippe, and this is the other system. So as they go, you can see what's going to kind of happen. Maybe just a little bit of a threat here in the northeastern Leeward Islands. But for the most part, no worries out here. We have another blocking area of higher pressure that's going to build in. That's going to force this thing to recurve out to sea or maybe go underneath. That's a long ways out. And basically at the end of the line here, we're talking about the 7th of October, 240 hours out. We're still not seeing any threats. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.